Hello guys, welcome back to my stream. So today we're going to solve this grade 12 question paper as paper 2. So I'm going to try to solve everything, a full question paper, if time is going to allow us, and if you still have energy to watch until the end. So okay, let me show you. Question 1 is statistics. So question 1 contain 10 marks and question 2 contain 10 marks, which is statistics. So basically, when I solve a question paper, let's take now I'm writing an exam. I start by dealing with the question that require much understanding. So statistic is easy, so I skip statistic and solve the question that require more understanding and more energy. So okay, let's start with statistic. It's fine. I will go with question 1 until the last question. So okay, question 1, they said at the beginning of season, the coach of a junior boys rugby team recorded a weight in kg of the 15 players in his team and the number of push-ups that each player was able to do in 1 minute. The data is represented in the table and scatter plot below. The last square regression line for the data is drawn. So here we have x, which is weight. Then we have y, which is the number of push-ups per minute. So, okay, let's check question 1. So question 1, they said determine the equation of the last square regression line for the data. So this one, the way you can solve this one, we need to punch all the data inside our calculator. So we need to be fast because we're not going to spend much time on statistics. So let's punch our data inside the calculator. If you are using Casio, you need to press mode, then start, which is number 2. Then you're going to press 2. You will see A plus BX, press that one. So you will see 2 columns, which is X and Y. So punch the values for X, which is 34, 32, 40, 27, 33, 28, 27, 55, 39, 44, 30, 57, 28, 32, 31. So you need to be fast because we don't want to waste much time on this question. You need to learn how to use your calculator fast. So okay, now let's punch our y value. 26, 21, 6, 20, 16, 26, 23, 7, 18, 14, 17, 8, 28, 25, 20. So and then after that you can just press AC. So okay, now we need to do what? We need to write our a value of A. So in order to write, okay, you need to know a regression line. The equation of a regression line is written in the form of 1.1. Y is equals to A plus BX. So in your calculator, we need to find the value of A and the value of B. So you will press shift 1, then 5, which is a regression. So now we need to know the value of A. So I found my value of A to be 39.456. So they didn't tell me, okay, in a question paper, you need to check if they are saying round this number to 2 decimal places or something like that. So, okay, we need to check the value of B. So you're going to press shift 1, 5, which is the reg. Then you're going to find the value of B. So I found the value of B to be negative 0.59. So our equation is what? Is Y is equals to 39.456 minus 0.59x. So this is the answer for 1.1. Okay, so now they said what? Determine the correlation. So you need to write the correlation. The correlation, you also going to use a calculator. So 1.2, so you're going to press shift, then 1, 5, then you'll see R. So R is number 3. So we find our regression to be negative 0.798. But if they say round to 2 decimal place, so our R is going to be negative 0.80. So this is our regression. This is our correlation. So here they said the coach uses the Lasco regression line to set the target for the minimum number of push-ups by each team member according to their weight. Predict the number of push-ups that a member of the team who weighed 29 kg should do to meet the target. So okay, we find our regression equation. So now they said we need to predict for a person who's weighing 29 kg. So 29 kg, you can see that is what is X. So they want us to find what? Our Y. So you need to go and use your regression. So we are going to use this regression in order to predict the value of Y. So 1.3, we're going to say Y is equals to 39.456 minus 0.59x. So we need to substitute the value of x because it's what is 29. So it's 39.456 minus 0.59, then 29. So punching this inside the calculator, I'm going to get 9. So the answer that I'm getting is 22.346. So this is the number of push-ups. So we can round this thing to 22. So this is the number of push-ups a person weighing 29 kg can do 29. So okay, let's go to 1.4. 1.4, they said write it down the mean number of push-ups for the given data. So a mean we can find our mean by, okay, here they said write down, but you can also know the formula to calculate the mean, which is what? 1.4. The formula for mean is y bar is equals to 1 over n. So we have how many data? We have 15 players. Then I is equals to 1. Then we're going to sum everything, sum the number of data that is there for push-ups. So we are going to say 1 over 15 is equals to, so you're going to your data. So since we want to find the mean for what number of push-ups per minute, so we're going to add everything here. Then after that we divide everything by 15 because it's 15 players. So we are going to add the 26 plus 21 plus 6 plus 20 plus 16 plus 26 plus 23 plus up until 20. So you need to add everything there. Then you are going to get your mean, 18.33. So okay, in your calculator, if you press shift then 1 and you press 4, which is var, so you're going to see this one and what and this one. And if you check in our data, they said that we need to calculate for what? For push-ups. And the push-ups is what? Is y value. So that's why you can't use x value. You need to use what? You need to use y. You need to use this one in your calculator. That's why you are going to get your mean as 18.33. So okay, now we are going to 1.5. 1.5, they said what? The player trained hard during the season. At the end of the season, the coach reported that each player was able to do 5 more push-ups per minute than they did at the beginning of the season. How does the increase in the number of push-ups influence the standard deviation of the data? So okay, you need to know something. Adding plus 5 to our observation is not going to change. So this question is trying to test you if you know the effect of standard deviation when you add maybe a constant to our data. So you need to know that adding a constant in our data is not going to change the spread of the data. It's only going to change the mean of the data. So hence, the standard deviation is going to be the same. For this question, you just go there and write the standard deviation is going to be the same, because adding a constant to our observation or to our data is not going to change the spread of the data. So for this one, write that. So okay, now the last question is this one. They said at the beginning of the season, the coach used the last square regression line as the minimum target for the player to aim for. So this, okay, let me read so that I can explain what this question is asking. Determine the maximum possible increase in the number of push-ups that a team member must obtain to reach the minimum target. So this question is in 2 ways. There is this one, it ends here. So they are saying at the beginning of the season, the coach uses the last square regression line as the minimum target for the player to aim for. So it means that in order for a player to qualify to play the rugby, the person must meet a certain target, a certain number of push-ups in order to qualify to go and play a rugby. So now they said determine the maximum possible increase in the number of push-ups that a player must obtain to reach the minimum target. So okay, let's go back to our scatter plot. So okay, this question is basically asking us which player needs the largest increase to reach the minimum target set by a regression line. So this coach used this regression line to at least find the people who qualify to play for the rugby. So if we check here, this spread is very far away from the target. So this is the player that really need a maximum increase in order to do what? To reach the target. So this is the player that we need to calculate that by how many push-ups does this player need to do in order to at least to qualify the target push-ups in order for him to qualify to play for a rugby. So okay, let's try to solve this one. So one thing that we know, we need to interpret this thing. This person weight how many kg? 40 kg. So how many push-up does this person did here? So if we check here, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So meaning this interval here is what is 6. Is 6. So meaning this person only did how many push-ups? 6 push-ups. and you can see it's far away from reaching the target, the coach said. So we need to know by how many increases does this person need in order to reach at least the maximum target for him to qualify to play. So okay, let me open a new whiteboard. So here we know that we have y, let's say y1 is equals to 6, and that person weigh how many kg? 40 kg. So we want to know that by how many push-ups does this person need in order for him to at least reach the maximum target, the minimum target set by the coach. So we are going to use a regression line to find out that a person weighing 40 kg, how many push-ups can he actually do? So we are going to use our regression, which is y is equals to 39.456 minus 0.59x. So, okay, this one is going to be 39.456 minus 0.59, then 40. So let's punch this in our calculator. So it's 39.456 minus 0.59, then 40. So this gives us 15.856 push-ups. But we know that push-ups, we don't have 0.56 push-ups. So let's simply round this thing, that is going to be 16. So a person who's weighing 40 kg can actually, according to our regression line, can actually do how many push-ups? 16 push-ups. So now we need to know that what is the difference between what? Between by how many difference does this person need in order to reach the minimum target? So this person who weighs 40 kg, according to the equation of a regression line, he can do how many push-ups? He can do 16, and 16 is here. So if we plot here, let's say 16 is here. So we want to know the difference between what? Between this person, which is 6, and what? And 16. So finding the difference, we're going to say difference 16 minus 6 is equals to what? 10. So we know that this person need at least 6 push-ups, need to do at least 6 push-ups in order to do what? In order to reach the minimum target. So the answer is what? This person need at least 10 push-ups in order to reach what? The minimum target. So the answer is 6. No, the answer is 10 push-ups. This person needs to do at least 10 push-ups in order to reach the minimum target. So okay, let's go to I think we're done with this question. And let's go to question 2. So question 2, we're given a cumulative frequency graph, which is an ogive, shows the time taken in minutes for 60 employees to travel to work each morning. So okay, let's deal with the questions. So here they said estimate the median travel time. So to estimate the median travel time, we're going to give. Okay, sorry about that. So I said that to estimate the median of the data, you need to go with this graph. Until here, we need to know how many people are there. So we are also told that it's 60 employees. So we are going to say 60 divided by 2. Then you're going to get what? 30. So 30, it's here. We need to find what? We need to find by how many minutes does these people travel. So you're going to locate here And then after, we need to calculate the intervals. So the intervals, so since the difference here is 20, I'm sure they use 2, 4, 6. So let me check 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah. So they use the interval for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So okay, checking here is what? It's 2, 4. But this line is in between what? It's in between here. So we can conclude that it's 65. 65 is our median. I hope you understand how I got that on. So we are going to say 2.1. Our median, we're going to find it by saying median is equals to n, which is the number of people that are there, divided by 2, you're going to get 30. And this is the position. This is the position. So after that, you are going to use the position to locate the time taken for the people to reach their working place. So we find that to be what? To be 65. So our median is what? 65. So 2.2, they said what? Estimate the lower quartile. So lower quartile is Q1 is equals to 1/4n. So this formula, we're going to get the position. So it's going to be 60 divided by 4, which is 15. So this is the position. This is the position. We need to go to 15. 15 is here. So if we draw a line and come here, so it's 2, 4. Yeah, so meaning is what? It's 44. So our lower quartile is what? Our lower quartile is equals to 44. So 2.3. Here they said estimate the interquartile range. Interquartile range, I hope you know the formula. Interquartile range is equals to Q3 minus Q1. So Q3, you can find Q3 by saying 3/4n to find the position. So 3/4. So the answer is going to be 45. Oh, and don't forget the 60, guys. So we need to go to position 45 to locate our Q3. So 45 is here. Let me use the right. 45 up until here. So if we calculate this, what is 2, 4? Yeah, I think it's 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Yeah, so I think the answer here is going to be 84. So it's 2, 4. Yeah. So our Q3 is what? It's 84. So here you're going to say 84 minus 44, because we already found our Q1, which is 44 in question 2.2. So 84 minus 44 is going to give us 40. So okay, 2.4, they said the minimum and the maximum time taken for the employees to travel to work are 5 and 120 minutes, respectively. On the scaled line in the answer book, draw a box and whisker diagram to indicate the distribution of the data as represented in the or give above. So, a box and whisker. So for this one, we are going to draw a line. So they said the minimum is what? The minimum is 5. So, but okay, let me start from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Wait. Okay, so 70, 80, 90. Uh, 100, 110, 120. So okay, we have minimum of what? 5. Let me write with blue, 5. And then we also have a maximum of what? 120. So we also have a lower quartile of what? 44. We already calculated this one. And we have a median of what? 65. 65. Oh, sorry. 44 is somewhere here. 44 is somewhere here. Then median of 65 is in between here, 65. And then we also have a upper quartile of what? 84. So 84 is somewhere here. So now we need to do what? We need to draw our box. So it's going to be this one. Here it's our median. And then you need to join with this one. You need to join with this one. So this is your box and whisker diagram. So you're gonna get full marks for this. So okay, now let's go to we are done with this one. No, we are not done with this one. We are going to do this one. The company manager decided that all employees who travel for an hour or more will be allowed to work from home for part of the day. What percentage of the employees will be allowed to work from home for part of the day? So they said the company manager decided that all employees who travel for an hour or more, that's the key point, hour or more, will be allowed to work from home. Ne? So we need to check something. Hour, 60 minutes is an hour. So people from, let me erase it. People from 60 and more, people who travel 60 minutes or more, and more, like the maximum is 120. So those people from this side, they are allowed to work from home, those people. So we need to do what? We need to calculate that how many people are allowed to work from home. How many percentage of people are allowed to work from home. So how can we do this? We need to, okay, let me use this one. We need to check what is the value or what is the number of people that work for 60 minutes or an hour. If you check here, I think it was increasing by 1 unit. Let me check again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, yeah. So if you check here, this dot is where? It's at 26. So, and if we check the last dot is where? It's at 60. So we need to do what? We need to say 2.5. 60 minus 26 is equals to 60 minus 26 is equals to 34. So 34 people, they're allowed to work from home. But this question, they ask what percentage of the employees. So this one, you are simply going to say 34 over how many people in total? 60 times 100. So you are going to get how many people? So you are going to get that 56.67% of the employees are allowed to work from home. So okay guys, there is this question. I'm going to skip this question because I understand the question, but it's not easy for me to explain this question. So it's 2 marks. So from that 20 marks, I got 18 over 20. So yes, I'm going somewhere. So let's go to question 3. So question 3 is an analytical geometry. So they said in the diagram below, triangle ACD has a vertex A, D is 3 and -9, and C is -9 and 0, where A is the point in the second quadrant, and B is -1, and K lies on the side DC. Okay. So first they said what? Calculate the gradient of what? Of DC. Calculate the gradient of DC. So 3.1, to calculate the gradient of DC, we are going to say gradient of DC is equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we need to put our coordinates here. So that is going to be easy for us to interpret this. So our coordinates is what? D is 3 and -9. 3 and -9. While C is what? Is -9 and 0. -9 and 0. So if you let this one to be x1 and this to be x2, this one it has to be y1 and this has to be y2. So it's going to be 3 minus 9. Oh, sorry. No, we start with y. I'm very sorry about that. So we are starting with what? -9 minus 0. We start with y. Don't forget about that, guys. So then we are going to say what? 3 minus 9. So using our calculator, we're going to get our gradient as -3/4. -3/4. So 3.2. So 3.2, they said determine the equation of DC in the form of y is equals to mx plus c. So we need to calculate the equation of this line. So since we have a gradient, it's going to be easy. So we're going to say y is equals to mx plus c. while we already calculate our gradient to be 3 over 4 x plus c. So we just need to use any point between c and d. Let me choose c. It's -9 and 0. So it's going to be 0 is equals to -3 over 4 -9 plus c. So when we use a calculator, -3 over 4 -9, find our answer to be 27 over 4 plus c. So we need to take the constant to the other side. So we find our c to be what? -27 over 4. So final answer, y is equals to -3 over 4 x minus 27 over 4. So this is our answer. So now we move to 3.3. 3.3, they said show that k is equals to -6. Okay, since we have an equation of this line and we have a point of x, we can simplify k by substituting to the equation that we calculated in the previous question. So we are going to it's 3.3. We are going to use the equation that we found in the previous question. Which is y is equals to -3 over 4 x minus 27 over 4. So we have a point B which is -1, point B is -1 and k. So we need to substitute. Our y is what is k equals to -3 over 4 -1 minus 27 over 4. So let's use our calculator. -3 over 4 minus 1 minus 27 over 4. So we get our k to be what? -6. Moving to 3.4. 3.4, they said they calculate the length of DC. Length DC. Okay, DC. We are going to use the coordinates, this one and this one, to calculate the length. So length DC is equals to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we have the coordinate D, I think it's 3 and -9. Let me check again. Yeah, 3 and -9. And then C is -9 and 0. So we are going to substitute here 3 minus 9. You must be careful with the sign, guys. Plus -9 minus 0 squared. So using our calculator, so here I get 144 plus 81. Which is supposed to 225 and the square root of 225 is what? Is 15. So our length is 15 units. So the length of DC is 15 units. So now they said they calculate the ratio of dP divided by DC. So dB, which is this one, divided by what? DC. So this thing is like that. When they said calculate the ratio, so here is what is BD, and then the other one is what? DC. So we already have what? The length of what? Of DC, which is 50. So we simply need to calculate the length of what? The length of dB. So after calculating, that's where we are going to say the length that we find there divided by 50. That's our ratio. So we need to calculate the distance of dB. I think it's 3.4. So length dB is equals to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So our D is what? Is 3 and negative 9, and then our P is what? Is negative 1 and negative 6. Let me check again to verify this. Negative 1 and negative 6, good. 3 and yes, good. So now we need to do what? We need to say 3 minus 1 squared plus negative 9 minus 6 squared. So using our calculator, we're going to find this one to be 16 plus this one is negative 9. This one, we get it to be 9. So, okay, adding this one is going to give us what? 25. So, square root of 25 is what? Is 5 units. So, the ratio of what? Of dB over dC is equals to what? Is equals to 5 over 15, which is equals to what? 1 over 3. As I said here, so here we find it to be 5. Here we already calculated DC, which is 15. So we just simply need to do what? To say 5 divided by 15. That's how we get our ratio. So moving to the next question is what is if M is the point on AD such that AC is parallel to MP, calculate the ratio of triangle, calculate the area of triangle MBD and triangle and area of a triangle ACD. So okay, this one we need to interpret this thing. So they said if M is a point on what? On AD. So let me erase here. AD. So they are saying there's a point in this line. There's a point in this line which is M. Which is M. And this point, it connects what? it connect B. Why? Because here they say AC is parallel to what? MB. So here AC is this one. They are saying MB is parallel to what? To AC. So we need to sketch this so that you can understand. So I'll just write okay, let me just use this one. So this is the line they are talking about. So this is the line they're talking about, and this line is what? Is parallel to what? To this one. So they said that there is a point where in AD, which is what? Which is M. So here they need us to calculate what? They need us to calculate the ratio of what? Triangle MBD. So let's check. Okay, so this is the triangle MBD. So this is the triangle. You see this small triangle here. Let me use this small triangle here. That's the triangle that we need to calculate the ratio. And which triangle? And triangle ACD. Let's check triangle ACD. Is ACD. So we have a triangle here. Let me try to sketch this thing. So it's not going to be any good sketch, but okay, let me try. So here is the triangle, and they said this line is parallel to each other. So here is A, here is C, here is what? Is D, and here is what? Is B, and here is what? Is M. So we already know, since we're calculating a ratio, we know the distance between what? CD is 15. We've already calculated. And we know the distance between what? DB is what? Is 5. Okay, so here they need us to do what? To calculate the area of the triangle and the area of the other triangle. So if we check something, this angle is common to both triangles. This one is common. So here we are going to say the area of a triangle let me open a new whiteboard. So it's 3.6. So we're going to say the area of triangle MBD divided by the area of triangle ACD is equals to 1/2 DM and DB sine of D. So I'll explain why I'm saying that. So since this angle is common to both triangles, and we know the ratio of what? Of this length and this length. So this one is what? Is 15. The other one is what? Is 5. And we already calculated that the area or the ratio of dB over dC is equals to what? 5 over what? Over 15. So we can simply say what? We can simply say this length dB times what? Times the other length. Okay, dB times what? This length times the sine of the angle, which is common for both triangle, is equals to this thing. So I'm using this way. So divide by what? Divide by 1 over 2. So now we need to go where? To the big triangle, which is DC. DC. Then the other side. The other side is what? Is AD or DA. Sine of what? Of D, because they are both common. They are both common. So we can simply do what? We can simply cancel this one and this one and this one and this one. So we are left with what? With dm times dB over dC times dA. So, but we know that dB divided by dC is equals to what? Is equals to 1 over 2. So let's check something, guys. This thing is proportionality. If you check, they said that this length is what? Is parallel, and this one is parallel. And this one, we find this side to be what? 15. Sorry. We find this length to be 15. And we find this small one to be what? 5. So it means even this one is 5. And what? This one is what? Is 15. Why? Because this thing is a proportionality, if you check. So now we know that also dm over dA is equals to what? 1 over 3. Or is equals to 5 over 15, which is equals to 1 over 3. So here we are simply going to say 1 over 3 times 1 over 3. And the answer is going to be 1 over 9. So if you need clarity somewhere, comment on the comment section. I'll answer you. So the last question, they said, if it is further given that the gradient of AD is -4 and the length of AD is square root of 612 units, calculate the coordinate of A. So now we are given what? We are given that, let me erase this. So now we are given that this length AD, the gradient of this length is what? Is -4. And the length of what? Of this AD is what? The square root of 612, yeah, something like that, 612. So they want us to calculate the coordinate of A. So in order to calculate the coordinate of A, we are going to use simultaneous equation. We need to create our own simultaneous. So let me open a new page. So it's 3.5, somewhere there. So we are given that y is equals to mx plus c, where we are given that the gradient of is it AD? Yeah, AD or DA is equals to -4. So we are going to say y is equals to -4x plus c. So and then we need to check the points that we know is D, which is 3 and -9. And D is what? Is 3 and -9. So we need to find the equation. The first equation. So we're going to say -9 is equals to 4, -4, then substitute 3 plus c. So this one is going to give us -12 plus c. Here is -9. So taking 12 to the other side is going to be positive. So we find our c to be 3. So we have equation 1, which is y is equals to -4x plus 3. This is equation 1. So now we need to use the length. So length is given, length of DC, no, it's DA. Length of DA is equals to, or DA squared is equals to what? X2 minus X1 squared the plus Y2 minus Y1 squared. So this one we're given that is square root of, let me check again. Square root of 612. So here we're going to say square root of 612. And then we are going to use the coordinates that we know, which is this one. So we are going to say x2 minus 3 squared plus, here we're going to say y2 minus 9 squared. So simplifying this thing is going to give us what? It's going to give us 612 is equals to x minus 3 squared plus y plus 9 squared. So this is equation what? 2. So I'm going to say substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So it's going to be 612 is equals to x minus 3 squared plus negative 4x plus 3 plus 9. So which is going to give us, simplifying this thing is going to give us x squared minus 6x plus 9, here is squared, plus, simplifying this, the number inside the square root is going to be negative 4x plus 12 squared. So this one, you can also simplify this one, negative 4x plus 12. Let me simplify it here. So 4 times 4 is 16x squared. Then negative 4x times this one is going to be negative 48. So meaning is negative 96x plus 144. Guys, I hope you know how to solve this thing fast. So I'm not going to show you the steps. There is this video that I made. If you want to see how I do this, go to watch the video. So let me erase this and write this one. So here is going to be positive 16x squared minus 96x plus 144. So let me add. Okay, 612. So let me add the electrons. This and this is going to be 17x squared. This and this is going to be negative 6 minus 96. It's going to be negative 102x. And then, so it's 9 plus 14. 9 minus 9 plus 144. Then I'm going to take this number inside. So it's going to be minus 612, which is going to be negative 459. So here I'm going to divide everything by 17. If I divide everything by 17, now I'm getting x squared minus 102 divided by 17 is negative 6x. Then this one divided by 17 is going to be negative 27 is equals to 0. So I can simplify this to be x is equals to 0. So 27. So a negative 9 plus 3. Yeah, negative 9 plus 3. So I found my x to be what? X is equals to 9, or x is equals to what? Negative 3. But we need to check something. We need to check something. Here, the value of x, it has to be negative. Sorry, it has to be negative. Why? Because this is a negative side and this is a positive side. So we need to make a decision which value corresponds to that one. So we need to conclude that a positive 9 is not applicable, but negative 3 is applicable because that side is the negative side. So you need to take this negative 3 and substitute to equation 1. So we are going to say, let me write it here. Y is equals to negative 4, negative 3 plus 3. So this is going to give us what? 12 plus 3, which is what? Which is y is equals to 15. So the coordinate of A is what? Is negative 3 and 15. So the coordinate of A is what? Negative 3 and 15. So, okay, I think we're done with this question. Yeah, we're done. So let's move to question 4. Okay, question 4. Guys, if you have questions, don't keep quiet, please. I will explain for you. So, okay, here they said in the diagram, M is 1 and 3 is the center of a circle. Okay, this one. The circle cut the x-axis at N. Okay. ST is a tangent to the circle at P. Okay, this is our tangent. And the R is D and what and 1 with D greater than 0. And L lies on the what circle. O and V are the x-intercepts of PL and P and RL respectively. So first they said write down the coordinate of L. So let's go and check. The coordinate of L, they said write down. So for this one, I'm not going to write down. I'm going to simply calculate. Write down, they expect you to do observation and just write down the values and they give you full marks. But I can't observe. I don't know how to. I mean, for this question, I don't know. I don't want to get it wrong because it's the easy question. So let me just calculate. Then I'll just put the answer there. They'll still mark me correct. So I'm going to use a midpoint because we know that ML is the radii and MP is the radii, and they're both equal. This one, they're both equal. So I'm going to use a midpoint. So midpoint is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then this is going to be your x midpoint. Then y1 plus y2 divided by 2, this is going to be your y midpoint. So since to this question we're given a midpoint, for x is 1, for y is 3. So that's how we are going to solve this question. So 3.1, no, it's 4.1, sorry. 4.1, so I'm saying we're going to say x1 plus x2 divided by 2, where our midpoint is what? Is 1. And y1 plus y2 divided by 2, while our midpoint is 3. So what else do we know? We have a point P, which is 3 and 9. So point P is 3 and 9. So it can be x1 and this one y1. So you're going to say 3 plus x2 divided by 2 is equals to 1. This side you're going to say 9 plus y2 divided by 2 is equals to 3. So cross multiplication, you're going to get 3 plus x2 is equals to 2. Even this side, cross multiplication, you're going to get what? 9 plus y2. 9 plus y2 is equals to what? 6. Taking y to the other side, we get y is equals to 6 minus 9, which is negative 3. And then this side, when we take this to the other side, okay, 2 minus 3, we get our x2 to be what? Negative 1. So the coordinate of what? Of L is what? Is negative 1 and what? Negative 3. So I know they said write down, but according to me, I was going to calculate it because I don't want to risk. So, okay, question 2 says determine the equation of tangent ST to the circle at P. So they need the equation of this tangent line. They need the equation of this tangent. So how can we solve that one? Since we need to analyze, since we have this point and this point, calculate the gradient of this point. After calculating the gradient of this point, we know that this one is perpendicular. It's perpendicular to what? It's perpendicular to ST. So we are going to say 4.2. We're going to calculate the gradient of PM. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we're going to use P as 3 and negative 9 and M as 1 and 3. Verify. Yes. So this one is simply going to be negative 9 minus 3 and what? 3 minus 1. And the answer is what? The answer is going to be, oh sorry guys, I made a mistake. It's not negative 9, it's positive 9 here. Yeah, it's positive 9. So the answer is going to be 3. So we know that the gradient of the tangent, which is this one, we can find this gradient by using this formula. Gradient of MP times gradient of S of ST is equals to negative 1. Why? Because because PL is perpendicular to what? To ST. So this one we know is what is 3 times st is equals to -1. So when we divide, we find the gradient of st to be -1/3. So now we just need to use the points that we know, which is what? Which is P. So we are going to use this point to find the equation 3 and 9. So y is equals to mx plus c. So this thing is going to be y is equals to -1/3 x plus c. So now we need to substitute the values. It's going to be 9 is equals to -1/3 3 plus c. So this one is going to give us what? -1 plus c. So taking 1 to the other side is going to be 10 is equals to c. So therefore our equation of a tangent is equals to -1/3x plus 10. So this is how you find your answer for equation of a tangent. So okay, here they said they show that the equation of a circle with center M is this one. So how can we show that? We already have the coordinate or a point M, which is the center of a circle, and already have P. Can work with that one to find the equation of a circle. So equation of a circle is given by x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equals to r squared. So we have m, which is 1 and 3. So we simply need to say x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equals to r squared. So r squared is the distance. So we need to calculate the distance. So r squared is equals to x2 minus x1 x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1. So we're going to use the coordinate m and p. So p is what? Is 3 and 9. So it's what? It's 1 minus 3 squared plus 3 minus 9 squared. So this one is going to give us 2 to the power 2 plus this one is going to give us -6 squared. This one is 4 plus 36. So adding is going to be 40. So our r is going to be 40. So it's x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equals to 40. So we need to simplify this one. So this one can simplify by saying, so it's x minus 1 plus y minus 3 is equals to 40. So this one is x squared minus 2x plus 1. This one is going to be positive y squared minus 6y plus 9 is equals to 40. So now we need to collect the like terms. So I'm going to put this one together. X squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 6y. This and this is going to be 10, but okay, let me just write it down. 10, then bringing 40 inside is going to be minus 40 is equals to 0. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 6y minus 30 is equals to 0. So let's check if we manage to write it. Yes, this is what they were looking for. So now they said show that d is equals to 7. So we have d. So since we have the equation of a circle, so we are going to do what? We are going to take these coordinates and substitute to the equation of a circle in order to find the value of d. So since we have an equation of a circle, so if you don't manage to find the equation of a circle, still use the one you are given here to find the answer for this one. So we are going to use the equation of a circle. So it's 4.4. So they want us to find d where we are given, okay, we're given d as x and y as 1. So equation of a circle is what? Is x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 6y minus 30 is equals to 0. So substitute is going to be d squared plus square root of 1 is 1 minus 2d minus 6 times 1 is 6, that's why, minus 30 is equals to 0. So this one is going to be d squared minus 2d. Are we calculating d or b? Yeah, it's d. So then we need to add the constant is 1 minus 6 minus 30, which is going to be minus 35 is equals to 0. So we need to simplify. So it's going to be d is equals to 0, positive or negative. So it's going to be 7, it's going to be 5. So d is equals to negative 5 or d is equals to 7. But we need to interpret and check. Since this side is the positive side, so x has to be positive. So we need to check here. So negative 5 is not applicable. This one is not applicable. So you need to say therefore d is equals to what? Is equals to 7. So okay, let's go to, I think it's the last question. So the last question, they say, no, it's not the last question. Calculate the size of L. Okay, the size of L. So in order to calculate the size of L, we need to calculate the distance. Okay, wait, I think we already have this distance. Sorry. We need to calculate the distance. This one is a radius squared, which is equals to 40. Is the one that we already calculated. So, and also calculate the distance between this point, and also calculate the distance between this point. I'm going to use I think it's a cos rule to solve this one. I'm going to use a cos rule. So now let's calculate the distance between, let's calculate here. So we are going to calculate the distance between RL. So distance RL is given by square root of what? x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So here we find our answer to be, is it 7? I think it's 7. Yeah, 7. So what about L? L, found our L to be -1 and -3. So we need to find the distance between RL. So it's going to be 7 minus -1 squared plus 1 minus -3 squared. So using a calculator, let me check first. 7 minus plus 1 minus 3. So we get 4/5. So also we need to calculate the distance between what? PR. So distance PR is what? I'm not going to write this formula again. So it's going to be 3 minus 7 squared plus 9 minus 1 squared. So let's check. 3 minus 7 squared plus 9 minus 1 squared. So even this one is 4/5. So now we can conclude that this length is equals to this length. So okay. So since now we have the length, so we need to say okay, P L squared plus, so PL squared plus what? RL squared minus 2 PL RL PL RL cos of L is equals to what? Is equals to PR squared. I hope you still remember the cos rule. So okay, we are looking for this one, so we need to take this thing outside, so it's going to be, and take this inside, so it's going to be PL squared plus RL squared minus PR squared is equals to 2 PL L RL cos of what? L. So now we need to divide this one so that we can have cos L in one side. So dividing it is going to be 2PL RL 2PL RL. So now we have cos of what? Of L is equals to PL squared plus RL squared minus PR squared all over 2PL RL. So now we need to check what is the length of PL. PL, I said, is the radius squared. You remember the radius squared that we find to be 40. So you just need to square it. Then you're going to get what? 4 square root of 10. Then, so this one is what? Is 4 square root of 10 squared plus. What about RL? RL, we find it to be 4 over what? Over 5. So it's what? 4 over 5 squared minus. What about PR? PR, same thing. That's 4 over 5 squared divided by 2. And then PL is what? Is 4 over 10. No, not 4 over 10. 4 square root of 10 times what? This one is 4 square root of 5. So let's multiply everything. 4, 10 squared plus. So I'm getting a very big number, which is 0.7071067812. The reason why I'm writing everything, I just want to get the accurate answer that is there in a memo. So it's cos of what? Of L. So L is equals to cos second function. Then you're going to put this number 0.7071067812. So if we say cos second function answer, you're going to get your L as 45. Your L is equals to 45 degrees. So this one is 45 degrees. So since I said this length is equals to this length, so this length is opposite to what? To this side. So meaning even this one is what? Is 45 degrees. So this length is what? Is 90 degrees. So okay, let's do the last question. The last question said TR is a tangent to a circle at R. Prove that PT is perpendicular to RT. Okay, let's check here. So they are saying what? We have RT, which is a tangent at R. So meaning we have another line here. Let's draw another line that is perpendicular. Yes, that is perpendicular to what? No, that is tangent at R. So So now is what? Is RT. So we need to prove that PT is perpendicular to RT. So we need to prove that here is 90 degrees. We want to prove that this line is perpendicular to the other one. So how can we do that? We can simply calculate the gradient of what? Since we know the gradient of this line, I think it's -1/3. So we need to calculate the gradient of this line in order to do what? To find the gradient of this line. So if we find the gradient of this line, we know that when we multiply the gradient of this one and the gradient of this one, so they need to give us what? -1. So now we need to calculate the gradient. Let me calculate it here. Gradient of Rm is equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So is what is 3 minus 1 over 1 minus 7. Which is giving us what? -1/3. So since we know that this line, the line from the center of a circle to this one is tangent, so we know this one is 90 degrees. So this one is perpendicular to that one. So now we need to do what? We need to find the gradient of what? Of RT. To find the gradient of RT, we're going to say gradient of Rm times gradient of what? Of RT is equals to -1. So we already know the gradient of what? Of Rm, which is -1/3. Times what? Gradient of RT is equals to -1. So we need to divide this one. We need to divide it -1/3 by what? -1. So this one is going to give us gradient of RT to be what? To be 3. So okay, I said what? I said if RT is perpendicular to ST. Okay, let me open a new whiteboard. So we have a gradient of what? Of RT, which is what? Which is 3. And we know the gradient of ST, which is what? Which is -1/3. So I'm saying if they are perpendicular, if RT is perpendicular to ST, when we multiply their gradients, they need to give us what? -1. So let's check if multiplying the gradient of both lines, they are going to give us -1. So this one is 3 times what? -1/3 is equals to 1. -1. So this side is what? Is -1 is equals to what? -1. So now we can conclude that yes, indeed, both lines, they are parallel. We can conclude that this line, which is what? Let me check the question. We can conclude that PT is parallel to what? RT. We can conclude that PT PT is perpendicular to what? To RT. So, and there's something that you need to understand. I use a gradient of ST. Why? Because I know the gradient of ST is the same thing as the gradient of PT. They are equal because this point is on the same line. So that's why I use ST. You also need to include that in when you're answering this thing. So question 5. As trigonometry. So question 5, they said in the diagram, line OP is given with P -3 and -4, and KOP is equals to A. So they're saying determine without using a calculator the value of cos A. So okay, this one we need to do the sketch. You need to understand something. When they say A is from here to here, this is just a range that A is written from 0 to third quadrant. So we need to interpret this point in order to draw our graph, so you can calculate this thing without the use of a calculator. So here you need to know something. This is X, this is what? Y. So the distance between here to here is -3. So the distance between here and here is what? Is -4. And we can simply join it by saying, join this point. So X is the one that determines which side to close. So we need to close this side. And then after, we know here is -4. So we don't have our R. So calculating R is going to be what? It's going to be R squared plus X squared plus Y squared. So X is -3 squared plus -4 squared. So this is 9 plus 16, which is 25. So squaring 25, we get our answer as 5. So we don't use positive or negative because this one is a radius, it's the distance. So our radius is what? Is 5. So to interpret this one, they said determine without the use of a calculator the value of cos A. So cos A is inside here. Cos we know is adjacent of our hypotenuse. So it's going to be -3 over 5. I hope you're following. So for this one, it's a double angle. How can we solve this one? We need to change double angles. We know we can change double angles by saying what? By saying cos 2A is the same thing as 2 cos squared A minus 1. And we already find the cos A to be -3 over 5. So we are simply going to say 2 into -3 over 5. But don't forget that here is squared minus 1. So if we use our calculator, we find our answer to be 2 into -3 over 5 to the power 2 minus 1. So our answer is going to be -7 over 25. I know they said without the use of a calculator, but the way you interpret this thing, they won't know that you use a calculator. So you're still in the right track. So okay, now we are given another one. They said sine A minus B, if it is further given that sine B is equals to 4/5 with what 90 degrees is less than B less than 360. So this one we need to draw a new sketch. So the first one, it was just a line here. Here it was -3 and -4, and I said we closed here. So here is -4, here is -3, here is what? Is 5. So this one, they said that we have sine A minus B, which is equals to 3/5. Let me check. Yes, which is equals to, no, it's 4/5, sorry. It's 4/5. So remember, sine is what? Is opposite over hypotenuse. So, okay, and they said what? We have a range where B, is it 360? Let me check again. Yes, we are given a restriction or a range. So, meaning since Y, don't forget, opposite there, you know, our opposite is what? Is Y. So, you need to do what? You need to sketch this one, this side. The reason is because our Y is positive. We need to sketch this one, this side. Okay, so our hypotenuse is what? Is 5. Then our opposite is 4. Is 4. Okay, let me just. It's 4. So we need to calculate the value of x. So it's r squared is equals to r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared. So our r is what? Is 5 squared is equals to x. We don't have, but we do have what? 4. So here is 25 x squared plus 16. So x squared is equals to 25 minus 16, which is equals to 9. So square root of 9, we're going to get negative or positive 3. But we need to decide, since this side is negative, so our x is going to be what? Negative. It's going to be negative. Something that we need to check here. No, we are not given this one. We are given sine B. Sine B, that is equals to this thing. And they want us to find sine A minus B. So, okay, now we have this graph. So it's -3 for both triangles. And for the upper one is +4, the one that is down is -4, then the hypotenuse is the same, 5, 5. So in order to find that one, this one, we know there's a rule for sine. You know that rule of sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. Yes, we're going to use this one. We are going to use this one. So now we can do what? We can interpret our answer. How are we going to interpret sine A? We just go here. It's A, here is B. Sine A is what? Opposite, which is -4 over what? Hypotenuse, which is 5. Then cos B is what? Adjacent, which is negative 3 over what? 5 minus. Then cos A is this triangle. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is negative 3 over 5. Then sine B is this side. It's 4 opposite hypotenuse. So it's 4 over 5. So you must draw the graphs because they want to see the graphs in the exam. So multiplying everything, let's check. Negative 4 over 5, negative 3 over 5, minus negative 3 over 5, 4 over 5. So our final answer is what? Is 24 over 25. So this one is 24 over 25. So you must show all the interpretation. They will give you full marks for that. So now they said for 5.2, if cos alpha is equals to P, express the following expression in the terms of P. We're given the following expression, so we need to express that one in terms of P. So okay, let me open a new page. So this one is going to be 5.2. So we are given cos of alpha divided by 2 minus 45 degrees, sine of alpha divided by 2 minus 45 degrees, all over 2. So the one and the given that cos alpha is equals to P, cos alpha is equals to P. So they want us to express this thing in terms of what? In terms of P. So okay. Something that you need to check here. We have let's say we are given sine 2x. This one can be written as 2 cos x sine x. Right, so we need to make sure we multiply this side by 2 and this side by 2. So this thing is not changing the equation. It's not changing the identity. We are just trying to have this form so that we can rewrite it like this. So this one, if we multiply here, is going to be 2 cos of alpha over 2 minus 45 degree sine of what? Of alpha over 2 minus 45 degree. So this one is like one angle. This one, it's one angle. So here is what? Over 4. So I said what? This one is one angle. So we can, okay, let me say let x is equals to alpha over 2 minus 45 degrees. I want to show you something. So here is x, here is x. So this one is the same as this one. You can see. So we can write this one as what? As this, as sine 2x over 4. But x is equals to what? Is equals to this. So sine of what? Of 2 into alpha over 2 minus 45 degree all over 4. So multiplying everything, we get our answer as sine of alpha minus what? 90 degree all over 4. And now this is a what? This is a cofunction. I hope you will still remember cofunction. This is the same thing as negative cos alpha over what? 4. And we were given that what? Cos alpha is equals to p. So our final answer is going to be negative p over 4. Okay, yeah, we are done with this question. So let's go to question 5. No, it's question 6. So question 6, they said given the identity cos x minus y is equals to that. So now we need to do what? We need to use the compound angle identity given above to derive a formula for cos x plus y. Okay. So this one is going to be 6.1. So we are given cos of x plus y. So in order to write it in this form, because they said we need to use this identity to derive this one. So we're going to change this one to cos x minus y. I'll put it like this. So now we need to use the identity of what? Of saying cos x cos y plus cos x and now sin x sin y. So because here it was negative, here it has to change to positive. So even here we need to use that identity. So we're going to say cos x cos negative y. So since it's negative here, we need to write positive sine x sine negative y. So remember, this is a negative angle. So negative angle, you always say cos 360 minus that angle. So even this one is sine what? 360 minus that angle. But this one is a fourth quadrant, and sine is negative at the fourth quadrant, but cos is positive at the fourth quadrant. So here is going to be cos x cos y. Here I said it's negative, so it's going to be negative sine x sine y. So this is the answer for deriving the formula. Okay, now let's go to 6.1.2. So they said the hence or otherwise show that this thing is equal to this. Okay, so I'm going to use this side, which is a left hand side, to prove that it's equals to the right hand side. So as what is cos 90 degree plus, no, sorry, minus x cos y plus sine negative y cos 180 plus x all over cos x cos 360 plus y plus sine 360 degree minus x sine y. So okay, I hope I copy the correct thing. So okay, this one is a cofunction. Go and revise the cofunction if you don't know how to do this fast. So it's going to be sine x cos y plus okay, yes, this one I said is going to be negative sine y times this one. Let me write the cost diagram. So here's 180 minus x, here's 180 plus x, here's 360 minus x, here's all. So we know sine here is positive, but the rest, sine here is positive, but the rest they are negative. Here tangent is positive, but the rest they are negative. Here cos is positive, but the rest they are negative. So here we see that this one belongs to a third quadrant, and cos is what is negative. So we're going to say negative cos x all over. Here we're going to say cos of x. This one, since it's going to the first quadrant, is going to be cos y plus. So this one belongs to what? 360 minus x belongs to the third quadrant, and the sign is negative there. Then sine, it's negative, sorry, y. So let's multiply this one. So it's going to be sine x cos y plus, yes, plus, because these two, when we multiply them, they're going to give us positive. Sine y cos x. So this one is going to be cos x cos y minus sine x over times cos, sine x. Sine y. So okay, let's check something. Here is sine cos. Sine cos. So this is the one for sine. The one for cos, sine is for cos. So this one here is going to give us what? Sine. Let's check. Is sine x cos x. Then I'm supposed to start with this one, but it's fine. But we can see that is sine y cos x. So this one is the same as x plus y. Then this one is what? Is cos. Let's check x and y. But here it has to be positive, because I said when you change it to, when like you are simplifying it, this positive change to negative. So this thing is the same thing as tan. Sine divided by cos is the same thing as tan x plus y. So we have proved that left hand side is equals to right hand side. So I'm going to stop at question 6. The remaining one, I think I will find a day, maybe tomorrow, and then finish them. So okay, let's do this one. 6.2. They said given f of x, solve for x if in the interval x is the element of 0 to 360 degrees. If f of x is equals to 2. So here we're given f of x is equals to 2. So, and f of x is equals to square root of 6 sine squared x minus 11 cos 90 minus, no, it's plus x, and then plus 7. So here we are simply going to say square root of 6 sine squared x minus 11 cos 90 plus x plus 7 is equals to 2. So in order to remove the square root, we are going to square both sides. So it's going to be 6 sine squared x. Okay, we need to check something. We know that this one is a cofunction, and we can change it to what? To negative sine x plus 7 is equals to 4. So this one is the same as 6 sine squared x plus 11 sine x plus, taking 4 to the other side, 7 minus 4 is what? Is 3, is equals to 0. Yes. So here we need to simplify this thing, because this thing is in the form of a quadratic. So here is going to be 3, 2 sine x sine x. So positive, positive. So here we need to put 3 and we need to put 1. So this thing is the same thing as 3 sine x plus 1 is equals to 0, or 2 sine x plus 3 is equals to 0. So here is the same thing as sine x is equals to negative 1 over 3, or sine x is equals to negative 3 over 2. So this one is not applicable. If you try to punch in your calculator, it's going to give you error, so it's not applicable. So since this one is negative, we're going to use a reference angle. We're going to use a ref angle. So we're going to say sine x is equals to positive 1 over 3. So when we say x is equals to sine second function 1 over 3, you're going to get what? Let me check. We're getting 19.47 degree. So since I said this is a reference angle, so it's negative angle, so we need to check where sine is negative. Sine is negative where? In the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So we're going to say x is equals to what? Is equals to 180 plus 19.47 degree. And then I will punch and check the answer. Then the other one, x is equals to what? 360 minus 19.47. So let's check the first one. 180 plus 19.47. This one gives us 199.47. So 360 minus 19.47 and give us 340.53 degree. So those are the values. So okay, now they said what? Consider the following function. Calculate the maximum value of g. Maximum value of g, this is a sine graph. So sine graph is something like I'm just going to plot anyhow. So when they said they need the maximum value, they are just looking for some value here. Let's take a maximum value, something like that. They are looking for that value. So, but since we don't have a graph, how can we solve this one? We just need to simplify this one and check. And okay, let me show you how we are going to simplify this. So we are given what? 6.3.1 g of x is equals to 4 minus 8 sine squared x all over 3. So we need to remove the common multiples. 1 minus 2 sine squared x. Okay, and put it like this, divide by 3. So this one inside the bracket is the same thing as what? As cos 2x, right? Yes. So now the answer is going to be 4 cos 2x over 4. Over 3, sorry. Over 3. So g of x is the same thing as 3 over 4 cos of what? 2x. So if you plot the graph of cos, something like that, plot the graph. It's not like that, I'm just showing an example. If you plot the graph of cos, you're going to find the maximum value to be what? This one. So maximum value is 4 over 3. Maximum value is 4 over 3. Okay, I think I will stop here today. Continue with this paper next time. Thanks guys for watching. If you have a question before I end the stream, you can ask, then I'll reply you. But for today I'll finish here. So let me show you what we are going to do next. So this question paper, it was long. I thought I was going to finish today, but I'm not going to finish. I think wait, check if this is no, we still have this one, question 8. What about question 7? Yeah, we still have question 7, which is this one. And we still have question 8, which is this one. And question 9, which is the circles. And question 10, proportionality. This is just a proof. You need to know your proofs. I'm not going to show you this one. I'll skip this one. And also have this one. And we also have this one. So guys, thank you for watching. Today I will stop here. I will continue with this paper tomorrow. Please share the stream so other people can join and gain benefit from this. I hope you can like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. If you have a question, comment on the comment section before I end.